Hey guys, MrStardustRicon here, and what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Love at First Sight. This weekend we should be finishing this VN up. I found out after the first session that there are 6 chapters in this game, and I do take as an aside just to comment on the situation and different things like that, but I think having 2 chapters per episode is probably a pretty good pace. That's what we hit the first time, and obviously, we can judge it by if we hit that this episode, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to finish the game this weekend, all things considered. So, last time we started the game out and we were introduced to all our main characters in this game, as well as the main introduction of our situation that's going on with our main heroine, whose name I cannot remember right now, but the main deal with her is, besides, obviously the big thing of her only having one eye, is that she's also getting bullied pretty badly at school by someone that, one of the chick from our friend group, whose name also escapes me for a second. It's also been 2 weeks since I last played this game. She has also dealt with bullying trouble before. So now we're going to kind of keep on trying to reach out and give her that friendship that she needs and try and be that supportive force that, people need and people want in life, because, hey, nothing's worse than feeling alone in the world. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Oh, right. God, I forgot how weird and sudden and jarring the transitions are in this game, and that fucked me up for a second, but we're good. So, it's the next day, lunch. I'm gonna try and find Sachi again, but first. Alright, yep, Sachi, our main character's Mamoru. Tomo, I think, is the other dude's name. A war council as we're finishing up our lunches. Yeah, Tomoyori. Quick it is. What do you think the best way to become friends with her? Talking? What makes you think I know? Okay, no, not just her, I mean in general. How do you make friends? I'd imagine, that'd be talking and getting some sort of common ground and being like, hey, I am interested in you and I want to be your friend. Usually it's not the most complicated thing. Didn't you have any friends at your old school? Well, yeah, but then you should know, shouldn't you? No, it's not like I had to try to make friends. I just became friends with some people without even realizing it, I guess. That's why I need advice. That's kind of what happens to everyone. Okay, my turn now. Akemi, who had been silent up until now, suddenly shouts, startling me. Honestly, I don't think she'll have any useful advice on this subject, but I want to eat my lunch, so I stay quiet and let her talk. I don't know, she's the outgoing type, she's an extreme extrovert, if anything, so I think she'd probably have some pretty good advice when it comes to, hey, how do I make friends? How do I, how do I make friends? Please? But, yeah, no, just go and talk to them, and hey, suddenly, somehow, you end up becoming friends. Ma-kun, the answer is simple. You just have to remember when you first met us. It's a little depressing if our first meeting is the only frame of reference she has. When I met you? Yeah, because we became friends pretty easily. Of course, it's not like you could resist my fantastic charm, but still. No, at the time I was thinking, these guys are weird. I only got to know you out of morbid curiosity. What? That's mean! The fact that you're able to get along with us nerds mean you're also weird, doesn't it? No, I'm not denying that. No, deny it! I don't know what you're so worried about. You're more sociable than me, and not as loud as Akemi. You guys, yeah, like I said, we're the middle ground. I think I said that at some point back in the first session. The main character is the middle ground between, the very calm, down-to-earth, kind of just gonna, he described him as zombie-like in the first session, and very, very stoic person that Tomo is, versus Akemi, who's the exact extreme opposite. We've got 2 extremes of each character here, and then we've got the middle ground of I'm just a normal dude. Anyway, the point is that you don't want to scare her away, right? Yeah, pretty much. You're ignoring me again! And you were going to find her again today, right? Yeah, I'm planning to, but I want to eat my lunch here. Last time I met her, having food with me just got in the way. Besides, I don't want to spend an entire lunch break with her and leave these two hanging. I mean, it's not like you're leaving them alone exactly, whereas we are leaving Sachi alone right now. Are you sure you can stand being away from us? Sometimes I think this guy can read minds. He really doesn't look it, but he does care about other people. I think I'll manage. I'm more worried about leaving you alone with Akemi. Don't remind me. I do like having someone else around who can keep this fool in check. You guys are so rude to Akemi. So rude. I wonder if I should even go. Are you sure you can keep her in check on your own if I'm not here? And again, Sachi should be finishing up her lunch soon. I've been finishing on my own in a hurry as we were talking as well. Since Sachi's eating alone, she probably won't take long to finish her food. Sachi, is that the one-eyed girl? Come to think of it, I don't remember her whole name. Ah, right, Usui Sachi. Sachi, huh? Well, she'll be Sachan then. When you finally introduced her to me, I'll call her Sachan. That reminds me, when I first met Akemi, she immediately gave me her nickname Makun. I mean, it just kind of take the first syllable out of that and got yourself a decent nickname, I guess. I mean, at the very least, for the characters we got so far, it's working out pretty good. And she didn't seem to care that I'd only gotten to know her for about a minute. Not that I dislike her, but the speed at which she gets close to people is a bit unsettling, to say the least. I don't know, I think it's charming. Always need your social butterflies. You're deciding on a nickname for her before you even meet her? Well, I'm not the one who's going to meet her. Makun, hurry up and introduce her to us so I don't have to worry about befriending her on my own. Yeah, I got it. Or, yeah, I get it. In that case, I better hurry so Akemi doesn't have to think too hard and risk shorting out her... Why are we bullying this poor girl? Good luck. Thanks. I glance at the whining Akemi before I pack up my lunchbox and leave the classroom. Of course, there's no guarantee I will actually find her. Sachi's probably just finishing her lunch by now. I'm sure she'll go somewhere else when she's done. There's also the possibility she chose to eat somewhere else in order to avoid me. Guess I won't know until I go, though. Ah, she's there. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, she's here after all. Same place, same frightened look. Hey, how's it going? Hello. Is she on guard again this time? She seems calmer than she did yesterday. Ah, third time's the charm. Getting used to us at the very least a little bit and know that we're probably not gonna bully her or something along those lines. Looks like she just finished her lunch. The lunchbox is closed. Now what do? I suppose I should think of something to say, first of all. I'm not trying to scare you or anything. I just want to be friends, you know? Friends? Her darting eye tells me that I still don't have her trust yet. The only thing I can tell for sure is that she's suspicious of me. Yeah. Do you not want me here? You don't have to leave, but... In that case, can I talk to you for the rest of the lunch break? Okay. Yeah, she hasn't rejected. That's... You know what? That is... We have gotten in, we have kind of... She trusts us at least this much. Something. It's something. It definitely is, because, okay, as opposed to what we had before, which was just like, I'm going to run away, or you're going to run away, or something between those two. And there was pretty much just a one-way conversation, if anything like that. Very, very, very much not ideal. But you know what? This is a lot better. I sit down on the stairs next to her, same as yesterday. What were we talking about yesterday? Oh, right, something about books. Yeah, books. You like reading books, right? You read manga and stuff? I like reading novels. Mostly just novels. I see. So you don't like manga then? No, I like them. It's just, I don't have any money for manga. Novels either. I borrow books from the library. School's library, I mean. They don't have manga. So that's it. Hey, if you want, I can lend you some of my manga. I have a few novels too, not just manga, but I figured that she'd be more interested in what she hasn't gotten as much of a chance to read. Huh? Are, are you sure? Yeah. What kind of genres do you like? I mean, I don't have a ton, but my collection's not too small either. I can lend you some of my favorites. Is it really okay? You shouldn't go out of your way for me. I said it's fine. It's really not a big deal. I'm just happy we have something in common. I see. Thank you very much. If you have something you want to read, let me know. So what genres do you like? Any genre is fine, besides scary stories or painful ones. We should give like nice, happy, fluffy slice of life, some, I don't know, rom-com, maybe. How well would you do with like a shonen, I guess? Like, I'm trying to look over at my manga section. Like, what do we got? We give you some. What's not painful? Because I'm like, Erased is overall pretty good. What about Horimiya? What about Interview with Monster Girls? It's all I'm looking in alphabetical order. Persona's probably a bit. How about we get some fucking Way of the House Husband? I don't know, man. Or it's no good then? You don't have a favorite genre then? Oh, I'm sorry. There's no reason to apologize. Alright, the book you were reading yesterday. What was it? Can you let me see it? Oh, this? She points at the book she laid aside next to her. It's a science fiction book. Sci-fi? You don't look like you'd be interested in that sort of thing. I read those too, actually. I really don't care about, I really don't care about, genre. If it's interesting, I'll read it. Anything that's interesting is good. This looks like a good book. Anyway, I'll try to choose some I think you'll like. Why don't I bring the ones I usually recommend to people? Okay, I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, no problem. By the way, how's this book? I've heard of it before, but I haven't actually ever read it. It's okay, I guess. Oh man. That's always the hardest when a conversation just drops like that, where you're like, because I'm the type of person who's like, whenever you're trying to like describe, if you ask me how I'm enjoying something, or if like, how is X, I'm usually the type of person to like go on about it for a good like a good minute or something like that, just describing what I like and what I don't like and different things about it, for like, you know, to give different conversation. And I also am just the type of person to describe things pretty heavily. And when I ask someone like, oh hey, you've been playing what's a good example? You've been playing Tales of Vesperia. How's Tales of Vesperia? I've been meaning to get to that for a minute. And then they'll just come off with like, oh yeah, it's good. I'm like, oh no, where's the conversation going? Her voice is still shaky and afraid, but it looks like she's becoming a lot more comfortable with me. Also, I'm sorry if I don't think the cursor was on screen, but if it was, my apologies. She may not be used to talking with other people, but it doesn't seem like she's opposed to a good conversation. And there goes lunch break. There went our avenue towards conversation. As long as she doesn't take the opportunity to sprint away from us, then I think this was a pretty successful conversation. And we have now got our bridge towards the next one with us bringing books tomorrow. Time to go already, huh? But at least I was able to talk to her more. That's something to be happy about. We should get going. Right. Two of us stand up and start heading down the stairs. Come back here tomorrow, okay? I'll bring the manga, I promised. Oh, okay. Mamoru-senpai? Yeah? I stop on the steps and turn back towards Sachi. Her voice is so quiet that it's hard to hear her over the sound of our footsteps. I'm really sorry. Really, I don't mind lending out 1 or 2 books. It's not that, coming up here to talk to me, what's she getting at exactly? Usually when people offer to do nice things for you, you say thanks, not sorry. Not that you have to bow or anything like that. Actually, I should be thanking you for talking to me. Sorry. There you go again. Sorry, I mean, Thanks. Thank you. Yep, glad I can help. We're descending the stairs as we talk, and before I know it, we're at the second floor where my classroom is. She's got one more floor to go, since she's a first-year student. Alright then, this is my stop. See you tomorrow. Sure. Tomorrow then. We became friends, or at least nice associates. Like, we are doing pretty good. That was like really good. She's opening her heart up slowly. Hey, we can do this. We can do this. There is a very clear light here. We go our separate ways. Sachi goes to the first floor while I return to my classroom on this floor. Well, I did it. I only just met her, but surprisingly, we actually made a promise to meet up again. It's only been a day, but I feel like we've gotten much closer. While I'm in my afternoon classes, I think about what kind of manga I should lend her and try to remember what's on my bookshelves. And then the next day... Morning. I enter my classroom and notice that Akemi and Tomo are already here. They both seem very confused as they look from me to the paper bag I'm holding. Oh, Makun, what's that? Are you opening a store? I was talking to Sachi a bit yesterday, and I told her I'd lend her some manga. I think you brought a few too many. Tomo sounds more surprised than anything. Yeah, I think you're right. The medium-sized paper bag I brought along seems to be sagging under the weight of the manga inside. Didn't you notice how heavy it was when you tried to lift it? I guess I didn't somehow. Sachi on an Amazon or something? She's gonna have a hard time carrying that bag home otherwise, you know? I'm starting to worry about that myself. I don't think it'll be impossible for her, but it'll probably be hard. Don't you think it would be better to give her a few books at a time? I guess so. I'll let her borrow them all eventually, I suppose. Aside from that, though, I've got something more urgent I need to take care of right now. I quickly turn to Akemi and bow my head. What's up, what's up? Please, we spent all night worrying about the books that we didn't do our homework. Nope. This is the second time today I've heard Tomo sounding surprised. That's a new record, I think. No, yesterday I was looking through my bookshelves trying to find books I could lend to Sachi. I was flipping through each book to determine whether or not it would be good for her, and, well, that's all I ended up doing last night. You're saying you spent the whole day reading manga instead of doing your homework. I suppose that's it in a nutshell, yeah? So, Akemi, help me out! Incidentally, there's a reason I'm asking Akemi. Despite the fact that she's kind of an airhead personality-wise, she's actually a really good student. I wouldn't say she's smart exactly, but she doesn't seem like the studious type. That's not to say Tomoyori's grades are great, Tomoyori's grades are bad or anything, but it's easier to ask Akemi than him. Well, I guess I have to. I'll think of it as an investment into my future rendezvous with Sachan. Wait, don't put weird obligations on me. No, I'm just setting the table so I can meet her sooner. Setting the table? We're not going out to eat. So you don't want to see my homework then? I will concentrate wholly on the work at hand, so please allow me to see it. Ooh, very nice. Okay. Oh, fuck. Transitions still hit me hard. Lunchtime. Before I can think about which books I'm going to lend her, I have to haul all the manga I brought up to the staircase, or brought up to the stairway to the roof first. Hey, what's up? Hello, Mamoru-senpai? What's that? Ah, the paper bag. It's a big one. I mean, carrying it all in a paper bag is kind of weird, yeah. I'd imagine you would... Well, I guess this is Japanese. Oh, I guess there isn't a whole bunch of room. It's not like American high school or something like that where, you know, backpacks and different things like that where, hey, we're taking backpacks everywhere or something along those lines. It's more the smaller book bags. I think that's the best way to look at it, yeah, the book bags. Whereas I could understandably bring like 3 or 4 manga or more in my like backpack if I were going to a high school or something like that. I'd be like, yeah, no, this is easy, this is simple. But I don't know. I don't have a reference point for how big those are. So the paper bag would definitely stick out to me. I picked out some manga for you to read, but I guess I brought a few too many. There are a lot. You walk to school? Yeah. I thought you might. I brought 2 or 3 different series, so go ahead and pick out what you want to read. You can take a few at a time. I don't want to overload you. Sorry. Nah, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Anyway, check these out. Alright. The bag crinkles as I dig my hand into it, and I pile up a tower of manga on the steps. Sachi cautiously extends her hand towards the tower, but she looks like she's about to commit some grave sin. I guess she's never borrowed manga from anyone before. She looks scared for some reason. But she starts to sort through them, and as she's reading the summaries and flipping through the pages of the books, her expression loosens up little by little. Yeah, we get to see a smile. Nice, easy smile. This one looks really interesting. Oh, I saw a bunch of copies of this one lined out at the bookstore a little while ago. This one, if I remember right, they say they're going to make it into a movie. So, did you find one you liked? Yeah. They all look so interesting, I can't decide. This one and this one. Wait, no. This one. I wait patiently as Sachi begins to fidget restlessly and turn her head to me for guidance. There's no hurry. Pick whichever one you want. There is now a hurry. Pick all of them. Sorry. Okay, I'll take this one and this one. Hey, are you doing anything after school, or are you going right home? Yeah, I'm going right home. I can help you carry them to your house. After class, wait for me here at the school gates. Huh? I hastily pick the manga back up in the paper bag, and before she can say anything, I'm already heading down the stairs with the bag in my arms. Just before I turn the corner, I catch a glimpse of Sachi and say, "See you after school." Wait, senpai! Having more or less forced her into this, I leave the shaken Sachi and return to my classroom. Is that the correct course of action? That seems a little forceful. I leave the school building, carrying the heavy paper bag. I have no idea how far Sachi's house is from school, but it wouldn't be right to make her carry all this home. Come to think of it, I don't even know where her house is. I don't know what I'm gonna do if it's far in the opposite direction of my own house. No. Unless you agreed to this and more forced the situation. This was a little bit tactless. So even if it is in the opposite direction, I'll go all the way there. I didn't really think this through, did I? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't fucking, complain and be like, oh, I don't wanna make the walk after you're like, nah, don't worry, I'll walk you home, and I'll carry the books. Don't worry, Sachi, I'm gonna do it. Now that I think about it, it's like I'm tricking her into showing me where her home is. Isn't it kind of creepy if you only knew them for a few days to find out where they live? What if she thinks I'm creepy? Yeah, you definitely made the wrong play on this one. But hey, if it works out, it works out. But, this is definitely the wrong play. In my mind, at least. As I'm thinking about this, I leave the gates and survey the area. Where's Sachi? I suddenly worry that she silently left without me. I guess I was too pushy. I didn't even wait for her to agree to let me walk her home. Yeah. At least, he was just a bit excited and he can reflect on, yeah, no, I kind of fucked up on this, huh? If she decided to go on her own, it wouldn't be out of place, and I would have no right to complain anyway. If that's the case, wouldn't she have come to my classroom to give me back my manga first? Senpai? No, hey! We did end up meeting at the school gates. Hey there, how's it going, Sachi? No sooner do I hear her voice than I realize she's standing next to me. Looking up. Where the hell did she come from? She really snuck up on me. Shall we go? I look over and confirm that it isn't her, in fact, her next to me, then watch as she quickly leaves the campus, staring at the ground with an uneasy expression. Seems like she wants to avoid being seen. I continue after her, hauling the heavy paper bag along. About 10 meters on, we turn down a narrow side road, and she slows down to a more normal pace before looking back at me. She seems to have forgotten what she was about to say. Sorry for forcing you to do this. You must think I'm a jerk. No, you're not a jerk. I wouldn't go that far. I think I should go home alone. I don't want to cause you any trouble. I seem to think about it a bit before thrusting the manga-filled bag at Sachi. She hurriedly throws out her arms to try and take it, but it's probably... As I take my... she falls forward under its weight. How many books did you bring? God damn, how big is this paper bag? The bundle of books lands with a deep thump as it hits the ground. Yep. Turns out she isn't an Amazon after all. See, that's too heavy for you, isn't it? That's why I'm carrying it for you. If you do hate me, though, you should say so. This is a bit forceful. This is very forceful. I pick up the bag of manga again. But isn't it going to be a pain for you? Nope. If it was a pain, I'd tell you. Don't worry about it, Sachi. Aren't I the one being a pain here? If you think about it, isn't following someone I barely know to her house kind of rude? No, I don't mind if it's you following me to my house. Damn, we have made a lot of progress in 4 days. We have made quite a lot of progress in 4 days. Well, I'm glad then. So which way is your house? This way. Alright, let's get going. Okay. The two of us start walking at a steady pace, side by side. Sachi takes short steps, but since I'm weighed down by the heavy books, I match her speed perfectly. What's up? Which way is your house? If it's in the opposite direction, I mean, if that's the case, I can carry the manga on my... No. Hey, if you are at least okay or happy with us bringing this to your house, then no, it's not a problem at all anymore. Then we should... I don't even want to fucking say, yeah, it's in the opposite way. I don't even know. Interesting. Sachi started to talking to me on her own. That makes me strangely happy, even if it's only a minor thing. One more, senpai? No worries. This isn't the street I usually take, but my house is in this direction. What street do you turn on? I don't turn. The street changes, but basically, I head in this direction the whole way. I see. That's good. My house is pretty much straight ahead, so we're probably right in the same neighborhood. Does it take long for you to get to school? I think I'm pretty close. It doesn't take too long or anything. Is that so? Cool. Isn't that heavy? I think I can help you carry it. I'm telling you, it's fine. I did drag all this to. You know what? Talking isn't my best suit right now. Let's try that again. I'm telling you, it's fine. I did drag this all the way to school from my house this morning, you know. Oh, okay. Sorry. Come on. I'm the one who invited myself to come along with you, so there's nothing you need to apologize for. You're not doing anything wrong. This conversation is going in circles. Hey, isn't that heavy? Don't worry, it's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I should be apologizing because I was doing a jerk thing. Well, okay. Thank you. No problem. Anyway, tomorrow's the weekend, isn't it? Don't worry about rushing through all the books. Just get them back to me. Or just to get them back to me. You have plenty of time, after all. Yeah, I guess so. Thank you. Yeah, we should probably, put the, hey, there's no need to get this back in time. I've read all of them, so it's not a rush for you to get them back to me. Something along those lines, something like that. Take your time, enjoy it. Two of us lapse into silence for a little while as we continue on. On the way, I notice something. Even though we're generally headed in the same direction we were when we started, Sachi keeps changing streets. I think it's because she's avoiding streets with a lot of people on them. On top of that, whenever we get to the end of the street, she bows her head as she walks, looking down at the ground. Hey, is your house on the other side of the shopping mall? I want her to stop looking down, so I try to strike up a conversation again. No, we're not going that far. It's just a little further from here. We should be able to see it soon. I see. My house is a little ways behind us. It's a different street, but we really are in the same neighborhood. Oh, really? That's my house right over there. It's a nice little house. Oh, this is your place then, huh? We arrived at a solitary, small, nondescript house. Thank you very much. I can take them to my room from here. Alright, sure. I gently hand her the manga, being sure not to drop it into her arms this time. Then, with a metal clack, the door to Sachi's house opens. Ah, is that her mom then? Maybe? Surprised, the two of us turn around at the sound. The woman who comes out stares back at me for a moment, but she quickly focuses on Sachi, narrowing her eyes. Oh, Auntie. Okay. Mayumi, are you going out? Sachi looks like she's about to cry as she lowers her head, trying to avoid looking at the woman. The person Sachi referred to as Aunt Mayumi is a slender woman, with perfect posture and 2 normal eyes instead of 1 giant eye. Yeah, something urgent has come up at work. Sachi, who's this boy? She looks me over from top to bottom, her face grave and unsmiling, and her eyes creep onto the bag I gave Sachi. She's beautiful, but her stare is so icy it sends shivers down my spine. This... from school... student... Sachi's voice is tiny, and and she bows her head again. Flustered, and I'm not sure the woman can hear her. Did I try to point that out? She turns to Sachi, but before she can speak, I open my own mouth. I'm Fukunaga Mamoru. I recently transferred schools, and met Sachi a few days ago. I came with her so I could carry the bag of books and manga I'm letting her borrow. I try to say this as politely as possible, but I'm probably talking way too quickly. I see. Thank you for doing that for her, Mamoru-kun. Her speech is polite, but she says this in a very flat tone, and it's hard to tell what she's thinking. Of course. Now I must get going. Sachi, since you're late, you'll have to eat alone. Okay. With that, the woman rushes out of the house. I watch her for a bit until she turns the street corner, but she never looks back this way. Family member, huh? Called her her aunt? Or you called her your aunt? Yeah, my mother's sister. I'm living with her right now. I see. I want to ask her about her family situation, but swallow the thought and ask what I think is more important. Yeah, no, it's probably not the best not to dig into family relationships and, hey, what's going on with your mom? Why aren't you staying with them right now? That woman, your Aunt Mayumi, does she treat you badly? Or, we can dive into family situations anyway. Huh? No, not at all. Can't really seem to get close to her, though. Oh. I don't know if Sachi's bad at telling lies or not, but it doesn't seem like a lie, at least. She might be getting her injuries from getting bullied at school, after all. But without knowing how her family treated her, I couldn't be sure. Okay, I'm going home. You can return the manga whenever. Oh, sure. Really. Thank you so much. See you next week. Yeah, see ya. Sachi hoists the bag of manga up with a grunt and heads inside. After making sure she made it in alright, I started walking towards my own house. I'm worried that our relationship isn't coming along as well as I had hoped, but at least it doesn't seem like she's being abused by her family. I don't know. All things considered, and how, not unsociable, but how guarded she was as a person. And how guarded she still is as a person, if we can take... Yeah, she's bowing her head whenever there's people around, and she's taking streets... She's purposely taking long ways to home, that way she can avoid crowds of people. She's a very, very guarded person. So, all that considered, I think we did extremely well. I don't know what you were hoping for out of 4 days of, like... Hey, I'm Mamoru. I want to be your friend. At any rate, I think we've gotten a little bit closer than we were before, and I smile as I think about that. Alright. And that it was chapter 3. Nice, nice. Or maybe that was chapter 2 and I messed that up. I might have. So we might be going on with this a little bit longer than I assumed. The next day, Saturday. One of the days we don't have school. I usually go hang out with Tomo and Akemi. Today, though, it seems Akemi's busy, so instead I'm at Tomo's house browsing through his books. Tomo has a minor collection of pretty interesting manga and novels. It's not too unusual that we'd hang out in his room every now and then. Is Akemi still doing things at her club? Ballet club, right? No, she's at a birthday party for some third-year student she knows. Man, she's got a big network of friends. Because she's both adventurous and kind-hearted. She does have that kind of personality, but she's also pretty, and she's good at studying at sports. It's probably what makes her so popular. Probably. Isn't she bothered by that? If she is, I've never heard her say so. As usual, he doesn't go into detail. The fact that he only replied with such non-committal answers is aggravating. So I try to probe him for more. Aren't you two going out? What's that supposed to mean? No, I'm not mocking you or anything. The way you two are so close, I honestly thought you were going out at first. We've just known each other for a long time. So non-committal. Do you want to? Who cares? Anyway, what about you? Looks like you've got a crush of your own. Pretty unusual for Tomo to change the subject so bluntly like that. Pointing that out might be bad though, so I let it slide. Ah! I support you in your love endeavors, Tomo. Or you just don't want to talk about it. How can you think I've got a crush on Akemi? Not her. Don't you have a thing for the one-eyed girl in the first-year classes that you're trying so hard to become friends with? You mean Sachi? Indeed. Getting close to a girl with no friends who's bullied at school? You're not doing it out of Akemi levels of random kindness. Poking your nose into that girl's business is only going to cause trouble. What are you trying to achieve? Do you have a crush on her or something? I don't know. I don't... Is it that strange to be like, yeah, I wanna be a pillar of support and befriend the person that's like getting bullied to where, you know, they seem nice and they shouldn't be having to deal with this shit, especially for some vain superficial reason, as like possibly what we have to assume is like she is very shy and she has to deal with like everyone looking at her like she's some freak or monster or something along those lines. Ugh, whatever. No? Come to think of it, I've never considered why I wanted to get closer to Sachi so bad. Maybe I just got involved because I pitied her, like Tomo said, rather than out of some random kindness in my heart. I guess you don't even know yourself. Feeling uneasy with the silence I've created between us, I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. You're probably right. I suppose there was no need to answer that like that, though. Oh, anyway, what's going on with her? Oh, I ended up walking her back to her house with her, so I could give her the manga all at once. To her house? That's pretty, daring. After that, I tell him about the time I've spent with Sachi so far. Even though I was a little hesitant when I started, as I go on telling Sachi's story, I reflect on it all and realize that I've actually been having a good time. It's not like we did anything especially fun, but I've enjoyed talking with her. Still, am I really doing this because I have some kind of crush on her? But I feel like that's not an easy question to answer, so I try to shake it from my mind. It's not like I need an answer right now, anyway. Alright, and that was Saturday. Nothing happened on Sunday of any sort of value then, I guess. Alright, let's move on to Monday then. Monday, the beginning of the school week. I normally have to drag myself out of the house, my brain heavy with gloom and drowsiness, but today I'm feeling a little different as I walk down the street. Usually I make a beeline towards school, but instead I'm straying from my normal path to take another nearby street there. It's not like it's a big loss of time, but since the fastest way to school is to go straight from my house, I don't normally use this road. Of course, it's not like I'm choosing to go this way for no reason. I can go faster if I take the street without many people on them. And of course, even if it's unlikely, I thought that if I go this way, I might... Yeah, Sachi, maybe, haha, how's it going? Torn uniform, the messy hair, the slim build, and of course, the bandages on her head. There's no mistaking it. That's no mistaking who's in front of me. It's Sachi, how's it going? I speed up and catch her and nudge her on the shoulder. Is that the best thing to do for a person that's like extremely skittish and like really doesn't do well with people at all and purposely tries to avoid them? I don't think going up and being like, hey, guess who it is the best way to interact with that type of person. Sachi turns towards me with a startled look on her face, no doubt from my sudden appearance. I guess I should have expected that kind of reaction. Mamoru-senpai, why are you here? Sorry to sneak up on you. My house is right near here. I mentioned that, didn't I? The route I normally take is just one street over. Oh, really? Yep. And I took this street hoping I'd see you. I didn't think I would actually would, though. Do you mind if I walk to school with you? No. Doesn't really show in her expression, but I think you hear a little bit of excitement in her tone. Might just be my imagination, though. How was your weekend? Did you read some of the manga I lent you? Oh yeah. I already finished parts of the 2 series that you lent me. Both of them were really good. Her tone is uncharacteristically lively. She's wearing a cheerful expression I've never seen until now, but her good mood kind of rubs off on me too. I'm glad then. I thought I should return the books I'm finished with, so I brought them with me today. I said you could take your time, didn't I? Are you sure? Of course. What should I give you next? Oh, actually, which of those did you like best? Both were good, but I liked this one the best. The one with the boy who can see ghosts. As we continue walking and talking about the manga's contents, the school comes into view. Sachi has been fairly talkative on the way here, holding an actual conversation with me. Carrying all that manga for her was definitely worth it if it makes her that happy. We're already here, huh? I usually walk to school alone, but this is a lot more fun. Yeah. While we were walking, she was still keeping her eye out for people, but I noticed she was mostly focusing on me. As we enter the school where there are more prying eyes, however, she starts keeping her head down and walking on the side of the path to try and stay out of sight. Sorry, that one was definitely fucking read wrong by me. Not read wrong, but like, I read stiltedly? That's a way to say that, I guess. Isn't there some way I can help her feel more comfortable? If I have time, I think I'll take the same street again today. If you're lucky, maybe we can go home together. As long as you don't mind, that is. I don't mind or anything. I like being able to talk with you, senpai. Really? I'm glad to hear it. No, I need to change my shoes. 1 second. Right, me too. Looking ahead, Sachi suddenly slows her pace and hides behind me as much as she can, like she's trying to disappear. I shift my gaze in the direction she was looking and see a lone girl passing in front in the first year rack. Ah, this is our villainess, I guess? Her hair is dyed blonde and she's wearing a short skirt. Even though we're a ways away from her, I can see the sour look on her face. Wait, is that the Sadakawa girl? I ask this quietly as I look over my shoulder while still trying to keep Sachi hidden. You know her? No, I've only heard rumors about her. As I'm working out how to talk about this with Sachi, the bell rings. The girl, who I'm pretty sure is Sadakawa, hears it and heads to her class. It's a good thing we weren't in a hurry. We just barely missed her. We just barely missed her as it is. Looks like she's gone though, Sachi. You need to get going too, don't you? Sachi probably doesn't want to continue this line of conversation. I make sure Sadakawa is definitely gone and with a sigh of relief, nod to Sachi. Oh, yeah, right. Let me join you for lunch again. See you later. Okay, see you. So that was the infamous Sadakawa Rua, huh? Since I've never actually talked to her, I can't say for sure, but I can tell just from looking at her that she has an aggressive personality. Making friends with Sachi is good and all, but I should probably find out what I can. I should probably find out what I can about Sadakawa as well. Morning classes are over, and it's lunchtime now. Alright, we gotta find out, we gotta gather information about the bully, say, hey, how's it going? Why the fuck are you being an asshole? And move on with life, I guess. Try and get to the source of the problem. At least one problem, because I assume that there are probably quite a few for Sachi. However, it's only Tomo and me in the empty classroom today. I'd planned on asking Tomo about Sadakawa, but based on how scared Sachi was just from seeing her, there's no doubt in my mind that Sadakawa is the one bullying her. Wait, where's Akemi? She had some business in the faculty room. She said she would be here. She should be here soon. I see. Perfect. Before she gets here, there's something I want to ask you. What's up? Well, first, if we only have until Kemi comes back, I probably won't be able to go into much detail. I wanted to ask about the girl you mentioned before, the first-year student, Sadakawa. As soon as we started talking about her, Kemi got really quiet, so I figured it'd be better to ask when she's not around. You've said you met her in the past? That's what you want, huh? Well, it's not like it's a secret. I suppose we met her 2 years ago, when Akemi and I were in our last year of middle school. Sadakawa transferred into our school. Since we were in different grades, we didn't meet her right away, but even back then, she seemed like a violent person, and rumors soon made their way to us. So then Akemi, with her motto at the time being love and peace, went and tried to rehabilitate her. Somehow, I'm not surprised. Well, I didn't say she succeeded. Sadakawa made fun of her mercilessly, but even still, Akemi refused to give up. The girl's so damn stubborn. It finally ended when the two of them got into a nasty fight. No one tried to stop them? Well, I rushed to intervene, but it's not like Akemi just stood there and took Sadakawa's... Oh, it was an actual fight, not like, hey, it was more of a, hey, you know, one of those fights like the verbal fights, arguments, you know, screaming, that type of thing. No, it was an actual, like, fisticuffs. That I wouldn't imagine out of Akemi. She seems like, you know, we said love and peace, but she seems like the person that would definitely not want to try and get in a fight or anything like that. Well, I rushed to intervene, but it's not like Akemi just stood there and took Sadakawa's blows. It looked like Akemi lost her cool and she fought Sadakawa with everything she had. That wasn't something I was expecting from her. What happened to her? It was not just a simple squabble. Akemi's always had good reflexes, and Sadakawa seemed to have a lot of experience in fights. Kicked and punched, and naturally, when they started using their knees and elbow, I had to stop them. I never would have guessed Akemi would be able to fight. Even I didn't know she could. I've known her for a long time. I saw a side of her I never knew existed that day. Did Sadakawa say something that made Akemi so angry? Really? I think that when Sadakawa punched her in the first time, she flipped a switch inside Akemi. I guess that's when Akemi snapped. Or I guess when Akemi snapped, she really snapped. So after the fight, Akemi really became depressed and was totally a different person for a while. Guess she didn't win? If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't because she lost. Rather, I think the fact that she couldn't change Sadakawa came as a huge shock to her. Yeah, I mean, the type of person that would always go out of their way and try to befriend everybody and find the good in everybody and, you know, really make them a better person and be a good person overall. When you meet that one person that's just like, nah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, even to the point where it gets physical, that's a problem. And that's definitely enough to change some person's worldviews of like, no, everybody's good and I can, like, as long as I reach out my hand and try to help, then I can help out people. But get that one person that's like, no, like, just so adamantly against you, it can really, like, a culture shock. It can be a very big culture shock. Akemi's really good at becoming friends with people. You've noticed that, haven't you? Yeah. No matter how gloomy or rebellious a person is, or how different their interests are to Akemi, she always finds something to be friendly about. Sadakawa was not having any of that. After that day, whenever she got depressed, it was because she had come in contact with Sadakawa again. And that's also surprising. Akemi seems like she's always the type to look forward to, Akemi seems like the type to look forward no matter what. Well, the old Akemi was a real wimp, at least. If she could try to make up with Sadakawa at some point, I think that might cheer her up, but those two are like oil and water. I can't force her to do that, no one can. I suppose it's best just not to talk about Sadakawa in front of her then. Unless she brings it up herself, then yeah, I think that's wise. At least until she has a change of heart. I think Akemi will find her own way to deal with it. You think so? Yeah. Seems like you might want to ask around about Sadakawa and Sachi's relationship. If you want, I could try asking around, see what people say. Recent information about Sadakawa might be more Recent information about Sadakawa might be more use to you than information about her past. Yeah, because, okay, it was 2 years ago, I think they said, or something along those lines. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. She said the last year of middle school, so in the second year of high school. So, yeah, then that would be 2 years ago. Things can change. People can change in 2 years. Hey, maybe Sadakawa might have turned a new leaf. You never know. Really? Yeah, that would be useful information to have. I appreciate your help. I guess both of us are helping Sachi in our own ways, even if Tomo's not directly involved. I know I can rely on him for this, especially since he has a lot more connections than I do. Akemi and I will gather any information we hear. Sadakawa doesn't seem to be as violent as she was before, but it doesn't seem like Sachi-chan is asking for help. It's weird when we're talking about, like, we've been talking about so many people without honorifics, and then we suddenly get Sachi-chan is a little weird. Just a little. Like, we're talking to, because I believe, like, we would be talking about, if we're talking about Sadakawa, it would be like, you know, Sadakawa-san, Sadakawa-san, Sadakawa-san. But no, we're just, like, straight saying Sadakawa, Kemi, different things like that. Versus, like, yeah, no, now that's Sachi-chan. But it doesn't seem like Sachi-chan is asking for help either. Plus, I think Sadakawa is the only one bullying Sachi-chan. One victim and one tormentor. That wouldn't stand out too much. Most of the students outside of their class probably wouldn't know anything about it. I mean, outside of the physical band-aids and bruises and cuts that have been, you know, showing up on Sachi, but I guess at that point, maybe people are just like, couldn't be bothered. It's going to be too much of a pain to try and help out, I guess. Maybe that's what's going on. Whatever the other students and teacher think, I doubt they know the whole story. Even if they suspect what's going on, they'll most likely turn a blind eye to it since no one wants to get involved with it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. Can't be bothered. Why even try? It's none of my business. Why should I try and help the girl? So in other words, as it stands, no one's going to lift a finger to help Sachi. Precisely. Well then, if no one else is involved, resolving this shouldn't be too hard. However, the other students think of Sachi. I'm pretty sure they'll turn a blind eye to you helping her as they have Sadakawa abusing her. If Sadakawa is the only one bullying her, I think I should be able to get her to stop. That's assuming she doesn't have any friends in on it with her, of course. You probably could, but I doubt it'll go smoothly either way. Sachi has me, and I have you guys. We'll definitely work something out. I hope so. Ah, perfectly on time. Right for the conversation to end. We don't even have to, like, have a son, like, hey, no, stop talking, cut the conversation, no, no, no. Sorry I'm late, guys. Akemi calls out as she barges into the room, her loud voice disturbing the calm of the classroom. I'm starving. Wait, you two haven't eaten yet? Could it be that you were waiting for me? Alright, I forgot about my lunch. You weren't waiting for me then. What should I do? If I take my time eating now, I won't have time to go see Sachi. Why don't you go over there? You've become good enough friends with her, haven't you? Akemi just got here. I was late today, so don't worry about it. Just hurry up and introduce me to Sachan already. Fine, I get it. But thanks for everything, guys. Everything? Akemi, who hasn't been part of the conversation until now, tilts her head in confusion. Yeah, everything. Anyway, I'm going. Ah. Hello, Sachi. How's it going? Ah, she's a lot more excited this time. Since I didn't eat part of my lunch, I'm able to meet Sachi a little earlier than last time. As I arrive, I see something unexpected. At first, she's surprised to see me, but her surprise soon becomes joy as a smile begins to bloom on her face. Until now, she always had a downcast look about her. Does that smile mean she likes hanging out with me? I'd imagine so. I don't, you know, smiles generally mean joy, and if she smiles when she sees you, then I think we can make like some sort of connection assumption. Yeah, she might be happy to see you, might enjoy spending time with you. You never know. I didn't manage to eat lunch before I came. Do you mind if I eat here? I don't mind. It's fine. Once again, I sit down in the same place at the steps. Huh? Sachi, where's your lunch? I already put away my lunchbox. For some reason, she looks away from me as she replies. Lunch break only started a little while ago, so it wouldn't be strange if she was still eating when I got here, but I don't see her lunchbox anywhere. She is, however, holding on to the manga I let her borrow and seems to have been rereading it. I start to feel a little uneasy. Even if she finished eating, we should still have her lunchbox around at least. Where's your lunchbox? Oh, that's... Actually, I forgot my lunchbox today. Now I'm starting to understand. I'm also starting to understand that she's a terrible liar. Was it the Sadakawa girl? Huh? Why? Bingo. What happened? Well... I wait for an answer, but none comes. It seems she doesn't want to talk about it. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. But you haven't had anything for lunch, right? As I study Sachi's troubled face, I realize she thinks I'm blaming her. That'll make this harder to deal with. I can tell from Sachi's reaction to Sadakawa's name that whatever happened is definitely not the girl's fault. Of course, even if she tells me what happened, it's not like I could do anything about it right now. I should worry about what's going on in front of me. No, but I'm fine, really. I wasn't that hungry anyway, and I usually don't eat that much in the first place. That's not really the issue, though. Can't you buy something at the cafeteria? I can lend you some money if you need it. You don't. It's fine. I'm okay, really. For once, Sachi actually has some force in her voice. Since she's refusing to let me buy her lunch, she probably won't let me give her a part of my own lunch either, but... Alright. Wait. I've got my lunch. Do you want some of that? Huh? No, you really don't have to. I said it's fine. I don't eat too much either, and besides, sitting here next to you eating while you watch would be really rude, even if you don't want any food yourself. I move next to Sachi and open my lunchbox. For a moment, I worry she'll try to avoid me like she did that first time I sat next to her, but she doesn't do anything like that. She just looks a little uneasy. Are you sure? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. She seems a little reluctant, but as she turns to face me, her stomach lets out a pitiful growl. I know she's just trying to be polite, but she really can't hide how hungry she is anymore. Just ignore that. She hangs her head, ashamed of her rumbling stomach, but she's still not ready to give in. Ah, there we go. Alright. I know she's going to relent on her own, so I pick up a small piece of a fried egg out of my lunchbox and with my chopsticks and hold it up to her mouth. We've got to feed her? A little bit, infantile-less? No, that's not the right word I'm looking for. Come on, you're hungry, right? Huh, wait, Huh? Wait, Say, Come on, let us feed you. It's cute. Sachi looks back and forth between my face and the chopsticks as several seconds pass, but sure enough, soon surrenders and opens her mouth. There. I stuffed a piece of egg into her mouth and she starts chewing, her eyes shut tight. You like it? Yeah. Great. Next. Open up. Ah, broccoli. Great. Now I'm big on vegetables? That's enough. I don't want you to have less food because of me. It's really no big deal. Well, As I watch Sachi meekly peck at the ends of the chopstick, as I start to feel like a mother bird feeding its chick or something. I can't help but think it's a little cute. That's enough, really. Open wide. She's starting to give in. I almost feel like there's someone else controlling my hand. Not that I'm about to stop them. You could at least let me eat by my... Slowly she's giving way to it too, which means she's probably not all the way uncomfortable with it either. I'm sure this is embarrassing for her. As I keep making her eat, I notice that her cheeks get redder and redder. She's so damn cute. I've already eaten half of your lunch. The rest is yours. He finally says, staring down at her hands. Sure enough, only half my lunch is left. I suppose so. Sure you don't want any more? Just eat your lunch. Sachi turns her flushed face away from me. Maybe I overdid it. Sorry. I got carried away. No, it's alright. I was happy that you fed me some of your lunch. I mean, not literally fed me, I mean, I was happy you shared your lunch with me. It's okay, I understand. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. I know. Anyway, thank you very much. Of course, no problem. Suppose I'll clean up the rest. As I'm about to start on what's left of my lunchbox, Sachi stares at the chopsticks. Oh, I should have realized it sooner, but the chopsticks I'm about to eat with are the same ones that I had been using just a moment ago to put food directly into Sachi's mouth. Indirect kiss. We got all the tropes coming out. Got it. We got it. Sorry, I forgot. That would be kind of gross, huh? No, I don't really mind, but if you think it's gross, it might be best to wash them. Don't worry about me, though. I don't really care either way, actually. If you're okay with me using them, then I'm gonna go ahead and eat. Sure. It's gotten a little awkward. I eat my food and try not to think about it too much. Even though I'm trying to focus on eating, I keep catching myself stealing glances at Sachi out of the corner of my eye. Sachi opens one of the manga I read, but I notice that for some reason, her eyes stay fixed on me as I eat my lunch. Whenever I look over, our eyes meet. Her cheeks are still red. Is she still embarrassed about me feeding her, or is there another reason? Either way, it's getting really hard to focus on eating. Alright, I'm done. And right on time. We are good at lining times up, huh? Already, huh? I guess we did take a while to eat. I guess so. Oh, let me give you back the manga I borrowed. I brought all the ones I finished. Cool. I'll pick out the next ones in the series for when I see you next again. Thank you. I gather up my empty lunchbox and manga and start heading down the stairs to my classroom as Sachi follows me. Hey, why don't we walk home again? Why don't we walk home together again after school? If it's not too much trouble for you, I mean. It's nice to have a friend who lives nearby. Sure, I'd be happy to. Face lights up with genuine excitement, even though we've only known each other for about a week. I don't know how we ended up doing things, like going to and from school and eating lunch together, but if it makes Sachi happy, why should I care how it happened? Most of all, if being together makes her happy, then I'm happy too. Alright, and that means it's time. It's time! School's almost over. As I return to my classroom after lunch, I realize something. I'm happy that we promised to go home together, but we never chose a place to meet before we parted ways. If I wait by the gate like last time, she'll probably come by, but Sadako might also be around. Maybe I should take a peek into their classroom instead. Oh, we might see something that we don't want to see. This might be bad. I rush down the stairs, but as I reach the first floor, I can see that the first years are already filling out into the hall, and I quicken my pace towards Sachi's classroom. And the moment I step in front of one of the classroom's doors, someone flies out into me. The impact knocks us both off balance, and just as she's about to go down, I reflexively reach out my hand and catch her. Everything okay? Ah! Perfect. We ran right into the person we wanted to see. Good. We forgot to set up a meeting spot. Sorry, Sachi. The student who flew into my arms and who I am now holding onto tightly is none other than Sachi. We stare at each other in astonishment. Ah, and there's Sadako. Sadako Harui. She pushed Sachi out the door? Now I know she's the reason Sachi had no lunch today. Ah, those are angry. She is an angry girl. Sadako's surprised expression soon turns angry. She glares at me menacingly as she starts to speak. Who the hell are you? Some upperclassman? Yeah, second year. But she doesn't let this get in the way of her anger. Oh, really? Then what are you doing in the first year floor? I came to see Sachi. For a moment, Sadako looks surprised as she sizes the two of us up. Sachi regains her balance as she separates herself from me. Then she takes a step back, retreating from Sadako's presence. She's not trying to run away, though. Is it because I'm here? Her eye darts back and forth nervously. Her? Are you starting a freak show, senpai? Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. You think it's okay to force your friends into freak shows? You're really messed up. That's really pitiful. Oh, damn it, wrong person. I thought that was her talking. Yeah, if you think, yeah. The girl's more prickly than I imagined. Naturally, my insults just annoys her more. Not sure if that actually got to her or not, but she pins a hostile glare on me. Oh yes. Well, excuse me. She really doesn't have any talents to display, and dressing her up as a clown might only disgust people. Of course you're right. The insincerely polite words that Sadakawa spits at me are dripping with venom and malice. This is what it made Akemi snap? I don't blame her. I think she's more suited to the role of a heroine than a clown. Her? At best, this one-eyed thing that looks like it stepped out of a fairy tale will become some wretched beggar on the street. You are fucking rude. You are super rude. For what reason? What could she have possibly done to you, other than be different? Yeah, maybe she did step out of a fairy tale. If I had to guess, I'd say it was Cinderella. She's definitely plagued by something like an evil stepsister. You know that story, don't you? Oh, that's a good joke. But if you're casting parts, I think I'd rather be the fairy godmother who turns the pumpkin into a carriage. Making Cinderella get run over by her own carriage would be a pretty neat twist, don't you think? That's like, God, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's wearing a vicious grin on her face, but the fire in her eye grows hotter and hotter. I can feel the heat in her stare. I refuse to look away, however, and it feels like a friction in our clashing gazes might set the whole hallways open. Senpai. Sachi tugs on my sleeve, pulling me back to reality. Several students seem to have gathered around to watch our fight. Here I am, a lone second-year student in front of a first-year classroom, is completely out of place. I should not be drawing this much attention to myself. Sorry. Let's go, Sachi. I take Sachi's hand and turn my back on Sadakawa. Ah, she doesn't like that. I'm still pissed and I want to turn around and go after her again, but Sadakawa stays quiet. Gave up this time, but I don't know, maybe starting a confrontation with her might not have been the best thing really in there. Sorry about that just now. I really made a fool of myself. Also possibly have painted even a bigger target on Sachi's back, which is problematic. Oh well, hopefully we can do it. We leave the school at a hurried pace, but once we're outside of the gates and start heading home, we slow down a bit. No, it's okay. You caught me right when I fell, and you protected me from Sadakawa-san. Thank you for that. Hey, it's probably none of my business, but if you're having trouble and you need help, you can ask me anytime. Ah, no, sorry, not a like, oh, you don't need to, just a, that's nice, thanks. Ah, looking somewhat puzzled. We might have become friends, but I guess we're not close enough for her to be comfortable trusting me with that sort of thing yet. You know, anything you need, I just want to help. Okay. By the way, if you like the books I gave you, I have some more from that author. Oh, really? I changed the subject to a lighter topic. Going home together should be more fun than this. At the very least, I want to see her smile more than while we're together. I think those are the ones I should lend you next. You want to read them? Sure, that sounds great. I'll look forward to it. Alright. Ah, instead we got the full CG of this. Come on, eat it, eat it, eat it. Yeah. Alright. Alright. I think about 2 weeks have passed. Ah, we got a nice little time skip in there. But I think that'll go ahead and be a nice little ending point for this one. I thought we were a bit further ahead, but we must have been in a prologue and did prologue in chapter 1 next time. So that means we did chapter 2 and 3 this time, and we're starting on chapter 4 next time. We're a little bit behind on what I thought we were, but depending on how things go, we probably should still be able to finish. If we're not able to finish it up tomorrow for Sunday's episode, then we'll be able to finish it up next weekend, and then we'll be able to start on the next weekend project as well. So, for everybody that watched, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode of Love at First Sight. Take care, guys.